Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ahana and today we're talking about the Platinum Preppy fountain pen. I got so many comments recommending this particular pen that I just had to try it out. It is priced at rupees 525 and let's see how well it does. So this is the Platinum Preppy. I have been hearing about it for quite some time and I thought that maybe finally it's time, let me try it out. It is worth rupees 525 and that's quite a steep price point for these fountain pens. Usually, like the ones which people generally recommend to me or the ones I come across for daily use are quite budget friendly, apart from of course the couple of ones which I found at the fountain pen show. But this one's quite steep. This is the F03, which means it is a fine tipped in 0.03 mm, and the body is made of plastic. They come with an ink cartridge, and the cartridge is quite long, so it should last for a while. And I like that all the fountain pens that you buy come with at least one cartridge, because for people who are maybe just trying it out, an ink pot might be too much of an investment and they should at least see how the pen works before committing to that sort of thing. So I like that they come included with a cartridge. I really like how the nib has kind of like a rounded end to it. You can see the 0.03 engraved on the nib, which essentially tells you that it's a 0.03 mm pen. And I like the little rounded tip of the nib, because then once you write, the ink kind of pools at the end and it looks really sophisticated. Let's put in the cartridge and let's see what it writes like. Once you put in the cartridge, you have to kind of put the pen upside down or roll it around a bit, just so that the ink gets going. This is not one of those pens where you, as soon as you like pierce the cartridge, the ink will start flowing. So it took some amount of time for the pen to be ready to write with, but that's fine. That's something that we can work with. I like the pigment of the ink. It is very dark, and see what I mean when I was talking about the pooling of the ink, because near the P and wherever I kind of stay my pen for a little bit, there is a little pooling of the ink which makes it look very pretty and very sophisticated. I mean, my handwriting is not the best, but for those who have great handwriting. The good thing is that this paper is kind of thick and nothing smudges. None of the writing smudged, and there is very faint amount of ghosting, but absolutely no bleeding. So this paper would probably be of 100 GSM, and most papers that are fountain pen friendly would be of 100 GSM. So nothing to worry about. You can use your pen very freely. I like the strokes that come out of it. I like how smooth the flow of the ink is, and also holding the pen was very comfortable. Even though there is no particular grip area, the barrel is thick enough that you have enough space to rest your hand in, and despite it having like a plastic build, it is quite sturdy. I thought maybe we can check it out on a different kind of paper as well. So I have this undated Amazon Basics 6-month planner, which is my daily driver planner for the rest of this year. And now that paper is very thin. I've been writing in it with my Cello Inky Flare pen, and that almost always goes or bleeds, and it doesn't bother me too much because I'm kind of just trying to figure out a system as I go. I just wanted to see how the Platinum Preppy would look on it. The ink definitely looks much darker on this paper versus the other brown notebook that I was using. Now the brown notebook pages are very like crisp white, so the blue was kind of looking brighter. Here the blue looks a little dull but really dark, because these pages are kind of off-white and yellowish. Now if I just check it, there is no amount of smudging, but you can see a little bit of the bleed through coming, and there's definitely some heavy ghosting. And we can also do the same thing with the Neora A5 planners. As you can see by the thickness of it, I have been using this planner for the whole year, and I have mostly used gel or ballpoint pens on it. The couple of fountain pens that I did use on it did not leave any ghosting or bleeding. So I thought, let's test this out. The paper quality here is much better. So let's just see how the pen performs. It writes really smoothly. There is no resistance. There is like no tooth to the paper that it would stop the flow of the ink. And there is a little bit of smudging because the paper is really smooth. So the previous papers that we tried on were not that silky smooth, but this one is very smooth, so the little bit of smudging will happen. But again, if you give it just about 5 seconds to dry, it will not happen. That is not something that is a deal breaker in terms of using this pen. If you look at the next page though, there is zero ghosting and no bleeding at all. Like, you can see that something was written, but it will really not hamper your experience of using the next page, and that is what matters the most when you're using fountain pen, especially in daily use notebooks like planners. I think the Platinum Preppy does a pretty good job. It's a pretty solid pen. However, I don't think it is worth the 525 price point. That is quite steep. It works well on different kinds of pages. But yeah, I mean, I think we could get the same experience at a much lower price point. So let me know what you think about the Platinum Preppy, or if you have any other fountain pen recommendations for me. I will see you in the next one. Bye.